What does EMV stand for? Electronic?
Euro, Mastercard, and Visa.
Ah, I see.
And they set the standards for how chip cards and chip readers work.
So chip and PIN would be really secure, and that's why Europe's been doing it for so long. A lot of people think we're switching over to that here in the U.S., but it's really just chip and then sign, right, for most people.
You know, it's really up to how the issuers configure the products. And
but if you look at all the issuers, how many of them are going with PIN?
Yeah, the majority are going to signature. You're correct. So chip
still
and signature.
Forgeable.
Well,
Easily.
The chip itself addresses one of the largest components of fraud, which is called counterfeit fraud. And that's really our focus right now, is to introduce chip in the U.S. marketplace. PIN addresses a much smaller piece of fraud, which is associated with if you lose your card. And that's a much smaller piece that has not been growing. So our focus right now is to get the advantages around counterfeit fraud, which the chip and the chip alone addresses.
But why not go straight to PIN? It doesn't really make very much sense. You know, I always worry someone's going to take my card and then they could just go and my signature is very easy to forge. The beauty of the PIN is that they can't do that unless they're, you know, in my brain.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think our focus is really to make sure that we have a smooth transition to chip. And because of the way we're rolling out, our transition is going to happen over time. And so what we want to make sure is that customers understand how chip works. Businesses have time to get their machines in place and ready to accept the chip, and that the point-of-sale experience is really smooth for everyone. And so that's really our focus. We at Chase are investing a lot in getting the cards out, which is a huge effort. We have 88 million active cardholders right now in the marketplace across credit and debit. We've issued chip cards to nearly 65 million customers, so 65 million plastics out there now with chip. That is well ahead of what we're seeing in the industry. As an issuer, acquirer, which means we're also getting machines out to businesses, and a bank, the effort in just getting everyone up and ready to accept chip and chip alone is huge.
Ben, why don't they just go to PIN? Why are they dragging their feet on this?
I think they're worried about, there's a lot of worry about the hassle that's going to be involved in the
Remembering
switch.
a 4-digit code?
Well, consumers get confused when you put something new in front of them, and this is going to involve, they're rolling this out basically right before the holiday season, this new switch to the EMV technology, and yes, it's not that different, but people have this routine when they go into the store. They swipe, they put their wallet back in their card, their wallet, and the card back in the wallet, and then they grab their stuff and move on. The EMV chip, you have to put it in, you have to wait. And then there's also a lot of uncertainty about who has this new technology and who doesn't, and there's going to be a lot of confusion about that.
So you just don't want to add another element to the purchase experience then?
Yeah, it's definitely true. You don't want to add another element to the purchase experience yet. The other thing, though, is there's really two key areas that we want to address. One is counterfeit fraud, which is dealt with chip.
Right.
And the second is mobile online fraud. And what we're investing quite a bit as an industry, and Chase is in particular, in tokenization solutions, which basically it's a very similar type of technology on the online and mobile space, where you're not passing, you're passing a one-time code that can only be used for a transaction in digital payments. And it's important, we're really investing our efforts in getting those solutions in place. So, for example, we're integrating our card products into multiple mobile wallets like Apple Pay. And really it's more than just a fun gadget to use, at point of sale. Behind that technology is what's called tokenization. And that is another very secure form of payment, and it actually uses biometrics. So, what I envision, or what we as an industry envision, is that over the next few years, between chip and digital payments, we're going to see this, a monumental shift in how payments work.